Papa. Papa, please tell me a bedtime story.
Quiet, son.
Papa, will you please tell me a bedtime story?
Will you please be quiet? You'll wake up the other two boys.
I don't care about the other boys.
Papa is talking to you. Be quiet. You'll wake up the other two boys.
I want to hear a bedtime story.
I'll gouge your eyes out. Quiet, I told you. Quiet.
Hey,
what's the idea?
leave him alone.
Now, wait a second. Now, wait a minute. You know you started the whole thing. You know that, don't you? You're a very, very bad boy. You hear that? He's got a musical head.
Yeah, he's got a musical head. Let me try it.
No, that's not the place. That's not the place.
There it is.
No, that's not the place. Here. There it is. Mark that. Yeah, that's it. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere.
Why, you don't mean the ride of Paul Revere.
Yes, I mean the ride of Paul Revere.
Who was Paul Revere?
Who was Paul Revere?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Look at me, son. What happened in 1776?
What street?
What street? Aren't you the one? Paul Revere was told to me, was the famous jockey of history.
Not the famous jockey of history.
Yes, the famous jockey of history.
That's it, boy.
They're
Come
all.
on. Come on. The winner!
Listen, my children, and you shall hear the midnight ride of Paul Revere. Now, children, I'm going to tell you a bedtime story.
Oh, good. Tell us a bedtime
Wait a
story.
second. So sit upon my knee, little one. Wait a minute. Thank you very much, children.
I thought you were going to tell us a bedtime story.
I'll tell you a bedtime story. Relax. Once upon a time, there was a fellow called Paul Revere.
Where was he born?
He was born in Canada.
What part?
Houston, Texas. No, he lived in Montreal. That's a beautiful city, Montreal. You go way up in the mountains in the log cabin, and you open the window, and the sunshine in the morning smacks you right in the face. What was that? I say you get yourself a log cabin, and you open the window, and in the morning the sunshine smacks you right in the face.
Papa, will you get up in the moonlight?
I will, son, I will. Now, wait a minute, boys. Don't start no argument. Dad is telling you the story. One night late, it was around midnight, Paul Revere, he started for the log cabin door, and he met a wild, ferocious-looking Indian.
Woo! What was the Indian's name?
This Indian's name happened to be Chief Belch in the face, and he was a wild character. A wild-looking Indian, and he bumped into Paul, and he says, Paul, and he hit Paul right there. Then Paul grabbed him, and he slapped him, and he held him, and he screwed him, and he held him. And...
Papa!
Yes, son?
You tell him the story?
Oh,
no, I heard it. I heard it.
I didn't hear it, Pop. I'm going to tell you the story. And this Indian started down a narrow pathway, and he bumped into another wild Indian.
That makes two Indians.
Yes, two
Woo!
That's for nothing, son. And these two Indians with fire in their eyes. They, arm in arm, they walked together, and they bumped into another fellow called Sitting Bull.
Hey, is that three Indians?
Yes, three Indians.
Woo!
They started out behind my tail. I grabbed the gun, and I went for them. Then put it in my hands, and I strangled them. And I'm not laughing.
What happened?
And that's the story of Paul Revere.
Papa,
Yes, son?
was he married?
Are you getting personal? Yes, he was married. He married an English girl, and he was married a fortnight. And he come home early one night, and he rapped. He rapped upon the cabin door.
Come in.
Now, wait a second.
Ooh.
Boy, you haven't been holding out the old man, have you?
No.
Well, there's something wrong here someplace. He married an English girl, and he was married a fortnight, and he come home early one night, and he knocked upon the cabin door.
Come in.
I was right the first time. Now, wait a second here. What do you want, lady?
I am the good fairy. What wouldst thou of me?
What wouldst thou? This girl's insane. What do you want? What's your game? You got a racket or something?
No, you don't understand. I am the good fairy, and all night long I've been putting little children to sleep. Hast thou any children?
You mean, have I any children? What do you think they are, baboons?
Good fairy, would you put us to sleep?
A good idea. Would you put us to sleep?
Get in.
Now, wait a second, fellas. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Now, we'll start together. And once we get started, remember, it's every man for himself.
Now pay attention, my little man.
Sing it.
I'll tell you the story of the lady in the band.
That's it.
She was a princess in a foreign land. Oh, a prince came along to win her hand.
That's it.
She spoke a language he didn't understand, but she had a way of showing him that he was grand. And she did it with her little man. When she moved a fan in a certain way, no, and meant that she would like to have him stay. But when she held her hand just so, that meant that she wanted him to go.
She absolutely, positively don't mean nothing else but the story of the lady in the fan.
She absolutely, positively don't mean nothing else but the story of the lady in the fan.
In a moonlit garden, a dream of hell.
Till I beg your pardon, you can leave the danger gone.
A girl and a pan and a pillow.
A garden with a moonlight so mellow.
A look
And a sigh and the train of a man. Oh, what they tell, nothing but tale of love. another bedtime story? I'll put the little darling to sleep with a song.
No, I'll put him to sleep with this.
I don't know. I mean everything. Oh, no. I saw you there. All the stuff that every time I get to bed, something happens to you.
Quiet, children, please.
I told you,
quiet.
every time
now,
I get
wait
to
a minute,
sleep,
please. These are lovely children. I had 4 boys, but I had to drown one. I threw him in the lake and put a big anchor, but this happens to be the smartest of the 3. This is Junior. Smile, Junior.
You don't mind if I interrogate him, do you?
No, he's kind of young, but it's all right.
I'm going to ask you a question. My little man, if I gave you $1 and your father gave you $1, how many dollars would you have?
$1.
Now, think,
must
son.
not have heard. If I gave you $1 and your father gave you $1, how many dollars would you have?
$1.
I can see you don't know your arithmetic.
I can see you don't know my father. She don't know who
Don't know my father. Terrible time.
What's the matter with you guys?
Wait a second. Get up here.
A little poem.
A little poem.
Little fly upon the wall. Ain't you got no clothes at all?
I'll stop this.
Ain't you got
Don't
no
worry,
petty
I'll
skirt?
stop it.
Ain't you got no shimmy shirt? Boo! Ain't you cold? Boo! Ain't you cold?
Wait a second, please. Don't start
Little
this.
fly upon the wall. Ain't you got...
I'll gouge your tonsils out.
Little fly upon the track. The train came along and broke his back.
Wait a second, boys. Boys, what do you want?
We want another bedtime story.
A bedtime story.
Yeah, we want to hear the story about the woman in the shoe.
The woman in the shoe. I'll take that shoe off the wall and hit you in the head with it. I'm here. You afraid, children? You don't want the lady in the slipper.
No.
You don't want little boy blue.
No.
You don't want Jack in the beanstalk.
Yes.
No! We want the woman in the shoe.
They want the woman in the shoe.
I guess they want the woman in the shoe.
Not the man, not the boy, not the cat, not the dog, not the cow, not the horse, not the sheep, not the hog.
They want the woman in the shoe.
You said it! We want the woman in the shoe.
I guess they want the woman in the shoe. Now, children, I'll tell you the story of the woman in the shoe. Climb upon my knee. I don't mean you. Sit back there. I mean you. Once upon a time, there was an old lady lived in the shoe, and she had a beautiful daughter that didn't know what to do, and along came a handsome, gorgeous man. He knew what to do. He held her tight, and closer and closer.
Papa,
He...
will you stop fooling?
Your papa is not fooling. And he grabbed the young little lady and looked into her eyes and smiled. He kissed her once. He kissed her twice.
Woman in the shoe had a family that always kept her life in a jamboree. She couldn't keep them all looking at me. There was just infamy. She had to feed them all every single day, and there were many times when she couldn't say. She surely felt blue in a broken down shoe. She really didn't know just what to do. One day a fairy prince came a-traveling and saw the poor girl didn't have a thing. He raised his magic wand and from a empty pond made a gay place from a great day. The shoe was filled with love and merry laughter, and everyone lived happy ever after. Instead of feeling blue, just a big smile grew on the happy old woman in the shoe. Not
he married an English girl. He was married a fortnight, and he come home early one night, and he knocked upon the cabin door.
Come in.
Never fails.
Ooh. Papa! Don't go away until you tell us another bedtime story.
You want a bedtime story? You ask for it, and you're going to get it, and you're going to get it good.
Good.
Good. Once upon a time, there was a father, and he had 3 boys, and they belonged in the reform school. And the 3 boys would not give their father a break. So the father got terribly mad. He got terribly mad. And he reached for a hammer, and he hit 1, then he hit 2, then he hit 3. And the children died. And he grabbed the fairy by the arm, and he headed for the beer joint. He lived happily ever after.
And he married an English girl.
They were married about a fortnight.
And he came home early one night. And he knocked upon the cabin door.
Come in.
Never fails.
Woo!
And they followed in their father's footsteps.
They went over to the beer joint for a drink.
And they lived happily ever after.
Woo!